I'm Bhavidhir V. Bharadwaj. Welcome to episode 26 of Genesis of Tomorrow. The following is a conversation about artificial intelligence, agentic systems, the conceptualizations of society and future with Mr. Subham Kundu, a researcher and principal AI engineer. Also, 95.2% of you watching this have not subscribed yet. So if you get even the slightest bit of value from the show, please support us by clicking the subscribe button so that we can keep improving the quality of the episodes and keep on bringing such wonderful guests over for you. And now, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Enjoy and thank you. And we are rolling now. Okay, so first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome on the show. And before anything else, even though people have this general conception and idea about what artificial intelligence is, from you, someone who's been in this field, particularly in the depths of it, what according to you is the essence of artificial intelligence apart from just merely being able to mimic human behavior?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think artificial intelligence is kind of, I would say, a mathematics genius. Okay, like where we have seen like how neural networks can actually go and train yourselves itself to mimic patterns. So I think mimic patterns still is the main thing which artificial intelligence is doing. So we can see the areas where AI is making the greatest impacts are the areas where there are regular mundane tasks which is getting automated by AI. Okay, so it's like basically like finding the so if I go back, say from neural networks, pattern recognition and everything was like from a bulk of data, getting that patterns and everything that is actually helping the humans to automate things as well as like doing things that was previously not that much possible. So I think one of the biggest thing that happened in this was the availability of GPUs. I think because these neural networks, these things were very old. It's nothing new technology that came in. The main thing that boosted this whole thing was uh, GPUs, the hardware capacity to run these models. And then we had ResNet, we had VGGNet, those deep learning architectures, the CNNs, and from the CNNs we saw how good AI is in this whole field of deep learning. And then we saw its advent in NLP, sentimental analysis, and everything. And now we are seeing this thing. So for me, AI is everything like the data which we have gathered throughout the world, learning from them and doing tasks which is not that much, I would say, innovative or in the sense, and let the humans do the innovative things and let AI do the non-innovative tasks for us. Yeah.
Taking it a step forward for somebody who's maybe who knows again this crux, the
Mm.
upper epidermal layer of artificial intelligence, but who's for the first time maybe turning in to get to know about how it the technical stuff, how it works.
Yes.
What are the parallels between how an AI algorithm or ML model learns and how humans process information at large?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. So, like, human, when we see, okay, so I just take this example always. Okay. So, like maybe we have a cook in our home. Okay. Who is making roti, like the chapatis. Okay. Yeah. And I want to learn how to make chapatis. Okay. So, I am seeing that lady is now cooking like every day he's doing that same thing. I am seeing from there, okay, this is how this is going to happen. This is how a chapati is made. Now on next day, I try to make it on my own. Okay, and I did a mistake. It was not round. It was a oval shape. Okay, but then my who is an expert in that told me, okay, you need to do it in that way. So that is more like the back propagation, like telling the model, like you need to earn. Okay. Now after the second day, the is got a bit of circular shape, but not circular. Okay. But now I am doing that whole getting that training from her in the next continuous 10 days. Okay. And now I was able to make a whole rounded chapati every time because I got the training. I perceived the data because I was seeing it through my eyes. Okay. I think that's what ML is, seeing that data through maybe in GPUs and everything. So I am the ML model who actually saw from real life data how thing has happened. Now I am seeing making roti may not be my expertise. I was a noob or maybe a amateur in that. Now I've got that experience. I got the data from an expert. I was able to learn the rules on how to make a chapati, and now I can make it. And now taking it a step forward, so I know how to make a chapati tomorrow. Now someone asks, tells me to how to make a maybe a paratha. Okay, so I know since I already this as a ML model, I already got that experience of how to make a chapati. I just need a few more data points, few data sets to making paratha. I actually need to cook, add some oils and make it in that way. Yeah, obviously I need training, but I get to make it. So this is the analogy of a transfer learning. Okay, so I had the base model of making how a chapati is, and now I just need few more data sets, few more data points to make it. I am a new model now who knows how to make parathas. Okay, that's where the transfer learning we know we train the last two layers of an ML model. Yeah.
Okay, a two-part question.
Yes.
Currently, what is the most interesting aspect of this technology for you?
Yeah.
And secondly, since you on a daily basis are tackling with this technology, what is a challenge that you are currently wrestling with?
Yeah, so I will take a step back. Okay, and I till now we have been discussing about data models AI, but I think now it's the LLM area. Okay, like we have been discussing on large language models. Okay, so now if we talk about large language models coming in, okay, so till the date when ChatGPT first got released, okay, the ML world has got changed. Okay, it's not an ML engineer anymore. You have to be an AI engineer. Okay, an AI engineer is someone who knows how to use these large language models, how to these large language models works. The working has changed a lot now. It's not the same as the previous. Previous sentiment analysis would have been required at least 1 month of work. Now it just requires one prompt to an LLM and get it done. Okay, so now I would say like the most interesting aspect of me of and being an AI engineer at this point is like there is no design principles, nothing available in the world. Everything you are building is from first principles of engineering. Okay, so like in software engineering, we know like there is that design patterns. Everything is created. You just need to build it. But here you need to design it from scratch. You need to apply your first engineering principles, and then you're. I think that's the most fascinating thing. I don't know like how many times in a decade or a century will be in this kind of opportunity where we're designing things from scratch and using the first design principles, and that will be going to be used by lots of humans, lots of users that are going to production. Yeah, and that is the most fascinating thing for me actually, like working in AI at this stage now. Yeah.
What what sort of challenges come with working with this first principle design and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say the first major challenge, I think. Okay, again, I will like answer you two things. So, like building POCs have become very easy. Okay, like you can build a POCs maybe in a day or two. Sometimes I build POCs in less than 10 minutes. Okay, but the point comes after that. Taking that POC to production is the game, is the main thing where things are now getting a lot of like hassles. Okay, because you have legacy systems. Okay, now you need to understand where you put your LLMs and those things. And everyone may be saying LLM we need to do that, but king is still the key, data. Okay, so how you can get that data out of any? So suppose you are putting this into an enterprise data is siloed. There is no particular thing where all so how you can actually build those integrators, or if you are building a central hub to get that data, use it, and have an LLM that actually takes it, reasons over it, and gives actions is I think is one of the most challenging thing that is happening, because POCs are easy, but taking that into production, okay, without any first principle, you don't have anything. So you need to decide the first principles on your own. Think of scalability, think of all the security measures and everything. So like yeah, you need to bring your A game in engineering. Otherwise, you can't. So whatever engineering skills you have learned in like your computer science, so you need to bring that A game, because I think maybe in the last decade, people have stopped giving that much effort into understanding computer subjects. It's all about the programming. But now it's the time to be an engineer rather than a developer. This time has got changed now. We need to be engineer. We need to focus on the operating system, how CAS worked, networking, and everything. We need to get those subjects right here. Yeah.
That's I again, I likewise I find it very intriguing how the landscape is shifting from utilizing tools and everything to maybe proactively being able to build them firsthand.
Yes.
And since you're working in the domain, do you think the job requirements and the job demand, the companies are also demanding people who are maybe mentally from the mindset aspect of things, research oriented, than just applying pre-existing tools and architectures and frameworks?
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, like I have been into this job market for a long time. Like when I graduated from college, I got 19 job offers. Okay, like one of so my point is, like I have seen this thing. At that time, even the LLMs did not came. There you need, even that time also people have started asking for multi skills. Okay, it's not just one skill that will get you a job if you want to go for a good job. Okay, now in the LLM fields, what I am seeing, even in my companies, when I take the interviews or do that thing, I kind of see like it's not only uh, job market is not only like having and building an LLM, using an LLM. Can you just repeat the question once? I just forgot the question while asking the. I just got two things were going to
Yes,
mind.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Essentially, I'm just asking about the job market. Like, is there a significantly more demand for people who are research oriented from a mindset
Yeah.
perspective rather than just using the pre-established tools and frameworks?
Absolutely. Demand for research oriented peoples have increased a lot. I will tell you the reason because again there is no design principle books. Okay. So tomorrow if you want to build a new RAG application, a new technique has come and you as an engineer you say, okay, I don't know how to read a research paper. I just want to build it. Where from you will build it? There is nothing you can take it from there. Okay, nothing. So suppose a few days ago late chunking came in, you need to understand the late chunking mechanism from a research paper and then only you can build it. Okay, so I am not saying you'll be the best researcher who know the mathematics, but you understand the concept and you can put it into a Python program and implement it. Okay, so I think engineers need to be more curious now rather than just going things. And I always think myself, engineers have to be the best innovators that exist. We can't say innovators and engineers are two different things. Innovators and engineers are two sides of the same coin. Okay, and yeah, like developers will. I think everyone says no, like job will be automated. Yeah, developers' job will automated, but engineers' job will not be automated. Engineers' job is not to code; is to build things. Coding is an aspect of just building, but it's not the whole thing. Yeah. So definitely, to your answer to your question, a single line answer. Anyone who is curious, who is the one to learn new things, will always be in demand, and I think the demand will go up in the next few years. It will, because more and more companies are looking forward to get into the AI field. And if you know, aware of the current state of the art, yeah, you are a hot pick in the job market.
Hmm. There again is this emphasis on being able to constantly keep on updating yourself and evolving at
Yes.
large, at whole, right? Surely there are different ways, there are different methods that work for people in regards to being able to learn productively and prolifically. But
Yeah.
all in all, what are some major umbrella suggestions or recommendations that you would suggest people that they can imbibe in their routines or their quotidian day-to-day tasks
Yeah.
to understand the complex and technical novel happenings of the world of AI and ML and all this?
Yeah, definitely. So I think there are definitely you need to like, first you need to understand there are a lot of junk information also available in the internet, okay, in this AI field. So you need to first filter that out. Okay, and I think the best way to filter that out is to like follow some good newsletter, okay, or follow some good persons in LinkedIn. So in LinkedIn there are many persons like Pascal Weiss, Philip Smith, the Hugging Face person. Okay, they are like very good posting quality internet, daily research papers or something. And then there is a research newsletter called, which I generally follow, is the Alpha Signal. Okay, like Alpha Signal has, they can come out. Okay, now I, for me, the thing that has worked most, every day I try to read one research paper. Okay. And when I say one, I may not go into deep into the mathematics. Okay. I want to learn the whole technique, like what technique is there. Okay. And sometimes even I may not get time. But now the era what we heard, we have GPT, we have Claude. Okay. What I do, if I don't have time, I actually go first put the research paper into Claude, ask him, give me a summarization point, what are the main concepts that are been asked here, and then it also gives asks him to give the citations, like from which areas by paragraphs you have found it. Once I get it, okay, I feel okay, this is interesting to me, this I can apply. I try to go to the research paper and read more about it. Okay. And the next day, at least I try to build one POCs from it. I think that is the biggest thing. Nothing can beat you if you are hands-on. Okay, you can read thousand of things, but if you implement one thing on your hand, it's stays with you forever. Okay, so implementing, I think, a small technique, you don't need to implement like from end to end everything. At least the main crux of the thing by simulation, whatever, you know those things. And I think whoever is seeking for job, this is the best thing you can do. At the end of the day, this becomes your resume project, and if any recruiter sees you are doing some cutting edge technologies and have a project in your resume, is much better than having a full stack application that has Next.js and some backend working on it. Yeah.
For somebody who initially starts getting into reading research papers and these technical documentations, it might be a little intimidating at start.
Mm.
How would you suggest them to properly go through the entire research paper from the very start to the end? Maybe again, not going in depth to in the mathematics of it, but
Yeah.
still being able to understand the basic crux and being able to apply it, implement it.
Yeah. So I think everyone has their own interest. Okay. And we need to put our barriers. Like if I'm interested in the application layer, even if a very good research paper comes in maybe the foundational model, I should not go deep into that one. Okay. If I don't have the time, because I'm focusing on the application layer. Okay. So what I generally do every for 3 months, I focus on only three major topics. Okay. Not more than that. Okay. And for that topics, what my first thing is like, I get the research papers which is related to that. Okay. On a day. And then I first read the abstract, the conclusion. What's the main thing there? I made some quick points on that. Okay, like okay, these are things. Then I go deep diver. If after reading the like abstract only, if you find you are not interested, you should not read that paper. Okay, because it's time waste. Because if you are not interested in the abstract, after reading the abstract, the whole paper you will definitely get bored. Okay. The next I think is a very important filter is the because there are a lot of junk papers also getting published nowadays. Okay, so you need to be filtered that, and I think a major criteria of that, see if a GitHub code repo is attached to that or not. Okay, if a GitHub code repo is not attached to that one, it's just theory. Okay, no one can yeah, unless it has came from maybe Stanford or MIT big universities. But if you see it's not, you don't know that university and it does not have any GitHub repo anything attached to it, just discard that paper. No point of wasting maybe I'm not saying some papers may have very good information, but that probability may be 1 or 2%, others will be junk information only. Okay, so it's better you discard and try to read which papers you have where you see the code. And I think now the research community is very active in publishing code bases and everything. The thing that has I really love is actually go and scan the code, see how the code works. Okay, those are not very hard things to understand. You may see the mathematics very hard, but since you have been doing coding for a long time, you will actually see the code is easier for you to understand. Okay. And a trick I will share to everyone, which is very much is something very good. You get the code, put that code into a GPT. Okay, ask that code GPT to create an architecture diagram for that code base. Okay, the amount of things you will learn from there, you will get to learn the research paper in less than 5 minutes, because that's the main thing. You understand in your own way. It's a block diagrams. Okay, so I think that has really worked for me a lot, because some of the research paper I know which is very big, and I just get, if the code is available, I go to the code base, get the architecture diagram, and then if I need, okay, I need to go deep into this technique, then I go and learn more. But that's the point. Like I have got the crust, I know the flow diagram. So from the abstract and conclusion, I got to know what that paper is all about. I got the flow diagram from the code base, and yeah, then it's up to me if I want to go deeper, or I am okay. This paper is good. I don't need to go more than this.
I completely agree to it, and I feel that
Yeah.
if you are able to move ahead from this initial phase of intimidation
Yes.
and just
Yeah.
take that leap, it eventually gets easier and easier and easier until you finally become habitual to it.
Absolutely. On point. So I started this thing back in 2021. Okay, reading one paper. Initially, it was hard for me, right? I am being from a hardcore engineer, trying to read a research paper, a white paper every day. Not easy. But now it has become a habit. Now it's like if I don't read one paper, I really feel like, okay, I've missed something in a day. I need to read at least something. And reading is a habit which you need to build. Otherwise, it's not going to be. And I will tell you the amount of thing you will get to know, you are way ahead of your like crowd or your competitors. And if you are a beginner as an engineer, like you're starting your career, yeah, you should like, people will give, maybe take you as a position higher than what they would have taken you. It's very much in high demand. Okay. Yeah.
Since you also mentioned about using these AI tools and LLM models to your advantage, moving a little bit deeper into this matter itself, how, and also please feel free to talk about the aspect of agentic systems as well in this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Uh, how, as a person who is in this field, can someone be able to utilize all these different tools at their disposal to be
Mm,
able to make their entire workflow way more efficient than it already is, using
mm.
surely LM models and everything, but also agentic models?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think first you need to understand, okay, this is the work I do every day. What are the kind of works I do every day that requires a bit of human effort, but lot of data collection or maybe manual steps and those things. Just point out those works first. Okay, if you are in your job work area, do even for yourself also as a like a person to understand your whole thing. Just do that. Okay, I'll give you two examples on how I have automated. Okay, so I try to curate lot of informations. Okay, like from everywhere. So what I have done, I actually created a small extension. Okay, and using that extension, I can take any information from anywhere in the web. Okay, and then I put that into my local like Postgres server. Okay, in my system, Postgres server. Okay, and now I just have a local LLM in my system. LLM Studio is very good. You can choose Olama and everything, and you can deploy. I have deployed a Llama 3.2 billion model. Okay, and that actually takes that notes and everything, and I just ask questions. Okay, what was the note I took on 7th December? Simple system. I don't need to put that. I don't even need to go to Notion and OneNote and gather all this thing. I am done. I am like getting my own co-pilot to help with me on this work. Okay, now like, and this is a, if you want to take it a for further step, you can actually have maybe agents build on it, which I'm currently working on, which can actually take actions on behalf of you. Okay, okay, based on that information which I took on last Friday, can you create me a Word document or a LinkedIn post or an Instagram post or whatever, and then have the API. So you have your, like, you don't need a personal assistant anymore. Your laptop is your personal assistant where you build the thing and that can go. Okay, the, again here the main point is like, you need to first sit and think what are the things that actually requires a very less human effort, human cognitive thinking, but lot of manual like well defined steps. Okay, if you know the well defined steps and there is only maybe 10 to 15% of human cognition, that is a work that will be automated by agents anywhere in your workspace, in everywhere you think. Okay, so like in works, now in workspace, if I go to anyone who works, there will be definitely an area where you need to gather information from web and then build something from it. This would be the first agent you should build in your company. You should go at this, tell your manager, or just build it and build a POC. Like, hey man, you are using someone to scrap the whole Python script and then doing. I will have built this script that takes all the data from the internet, makes it AI native, and you can ask questions or you can directly put it into the whole your own whatever workflow systems, maybe Salesforce or whatever. Like with now OpenAI structured outputs, they have guaranteed 100% structured outputs, right? So you know, if you know the API structure of your like CRM or whatever tools you have, you know what is the payload. You and from the web you can extract the information and ask OpenAI, give me in that structure outputs only, and it's just done an API call, and you have actually built a whole agentic system that can run in a cron job in a scheduled manner and just do that. So again, the point is like you need to think and find the areas, and you don't wait for someone to come and tell you, hey, can you implement that using AI? And someone may come, but it will come at a long time. If you know, like, and I can guarantee everyone, even you, me, today also have a lot of works that we do that requires very less cognitive load and lot of like well-defined steps. We can automate that one. Yeah, we just need to think and find out the areas we need to do. And see a lot of startups and those are spinning off doing these kind of things. And yeah, OpenAI is also bringing a lot of things for us, like the canvas, the tools, calls, and everything they're building. Yes.
You mentioned about startups, right? For entrepreneurs who are just starting out with their ventures, how can they, not having a lot of resources, not having a lot of practical knowledge, experiential knowledge, anecdotal knowledge, how can they start by integrating these systems and frameworks and putting them in place to be able to rapidly scale their businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing, get a Claude Pro subscription. One thing, yeah, okay. Nothing, you can do whatever you want to do later. Okay, just take that one at first. Okay, not a sponsorship, nothing. Claude even does not know me. Okay, but it will make your life much easier because they are very good at code. Okay, and if you can just build the architecture saying like this, it will build a code for you. Okay, and after that, yeah, definitely you need to tweak things. That is your engineering debugging skills that comes. But I think that is the main thing. You will be able to do POCs in very quickly. Okay, now once you have built a POCs, think of in a how I can bring it quickly to the customers. Okay, don't wait maybe 5 months, 6 months just to come to the like build that perfect product and then go to the customers. Okay, so there is something called minimum viable product. I sometimes say like minimum viable audience. Okay, you need to find your minimum viable audience who, like, even everyone get kicks out your product, there will be that few, it may be two people only, but that two people will never kick out your product. Okay, if you find that minimum viable audience, that means you have built something that is actually used by you, and for that you need to bring out your product, otherwise no one will understand. Okay, so now to get that minimum viable audience and to get the whole thing, so you need to first, I think, as you we need to get that. Oh, first, clarity of thoughts, what you are building. Okay, if you don't have the clarity of thoughts, you are just jumping today, it is going to be hackathon project, nothing more than that. Okay, so clarity of thoughts, what you are building, try to get that project a minimum MVP out, POC out, and get in the hands of your audience, and try to get this in 2 months, not more than that. Okay, even after 2 months, if you see your POC is not working, you are not getting your minimum viable audience, nothing else, then you need to sit, take a step back and think if this is working or not. Okay, and sometimes people say like, no, you should stick to your startup idea, you should if you feel this is not going to work, you should pivot. Okay, and now with the AI tools and everything, I think those rules are going to change. You can eventually work on multiple startup ideas also. Okay, it's your 24 hours. If you are passionate, you don't need to code the whole thing. You have AI helping you, Claude helping you, Canva, it has a good AI support. Figma, there is they help you a lot. Then there is like lot of verses helps you in deployment. What you need to build, like there you get everything. Microsoft Azure is very good at giving credits. Okay, like it's good. So if you think there are two ideas, work on them simultaneously. I think that old ideas of not working on a single thing will change. Okay, but the point is you can work on four things, but work sincerely on four things. Okay, not like jumping and switching things. Like I do a lot of things, but whenever I do, I focus only on that one. But tomorrow I may be doing some other thing. But that moment of time, I'll be doing that. It's like I am now talking to you. My focus is nowhere. Everything is closed. I'm talking to you only. Okay, get the thing done. I like one thing which I have few years ago I learned from a podcast. Something is called mind fog or mental fog. Okay, something that is called. Okay, so if you don't get your things done. it will always go in your mind, okay, and that creates a kind of mental fog for you, which is not helpful in your long run, eventually in things. There is a book called Do It Today. It's a very small book. Okay, I would recommend everyone to read it. I have read it. I read a lot of books, but that book has actually be a very nice book. It's a very small book, maybe 90 or 100 pages. It's very nice. I should recommend everyone to read it. Yeah.
How do you think the growing prevalence of artificial intelligence in the real world will impact the social and personal dynamics between people, the connections, the relationships, how all of those things would be impacted?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will be two-way swords. Okay. People will now use it. Like I would first say the bad things. Like like I will see more rise of defects. Okay. Yeah. People getting more maybe attached to maybe artificial bots and those things because as time is increasing more and more we are seeing AI agents are getting developed that has a lot of empathy, okay, so whenever it will be very hard to differentiate between this kind of agents, so like yeah it will like we need to be very much like understandable what we are kind of social in when you are in the digital media, we're very much aware like whether it is a bot or it's actually a real person we are talking, okay, and then the other thing I think there would be very good AI companies who will do very good. I still have not found anyone who will build like emotional assistants, okay, yeah, because due to this digital world people are getting more confined in their house like work from home, this thing they need emotional support, okay, and sometimes these things never happens, like you can't get that thing well, so they would love to talk to a co-pilot which is their emotional like assistant using which they can actually share things, become a bit lighter, okay, and share the stress, maybe the how they have gone, okay, share their whole day, any like pressure or anything they have, may not get a good solution but at least sharing things, talking things will actually help a lot, okay. I think that is going to be a change in how emotional, like I will see a different paradigm of emotional intelligence startups or even companies coming up that will come in our life and will, yeah, I think in next 3 to 4 years everyone will have an emotional assistant or a personalized assistant in the form of a co-pilot in their pocket or in their phone. Yeah,
I think this started with your these Siri and
yeah,
Amazon dot Echo, all of these AI assistants,
yes,
and increasingly it is going to reach an extent where there's going to be this relationship like Tony Stark and Jarvis. Like he had different
yeah,
AI assistants and he could use them to collaborate with them in projects
yes,
and everything.
yes,
It'll come
yes,
to that,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it'll also, there's again, as you said, a double-edged sword. It'll
yes,
even have this different side, this parallel side, in which the increasing empathy and emotional intelligence of these systems
mm,
will be able to haze the line between what you feel is emotionally real and
yes,
artificial.
yeah, yeah, true. Yes. So yeah, you are on point. So I think, as you said, Siri, we know those still had a robotic voice in it. Yeah, we know that's AI, but that gap is getting close. Okay, we'll see more AI agents like we can attach to them. Okay, and today we'll have a social media of Facebook. I think very soon we'll have a social media of agents. Okay, where my agent will actually do a podcast with your agent, and then there will be a publishing agent who will publish the video, and we may not even know. We may be in a vacation or we may not be sitting somewhere else. Okay, but this is again like an very dangerous thing. It needs to be controlled. So today podcast is good, but who knows? They may go and do some violent things. That has to be controlled. That's why like it's a double-edged thing. But I completely agree. There very soon we'll see a social network of agents. Okay, and I think I know like there are a few startups who are actually working on building. not Bitcoin based, I mean crypto based the social agent, okay, where the social agents are actually on a crypto network, okay, and where they are actually interacting with each other, kind of social media agentic crypto system. I'm forgetting the name of the startup, but they are building this kind of thing, okay. So yeah, but yes, like we need to be very careful where we are going in, because affecting a human's mind, doing behave things on a basis of a human mind is very dangerous, okay. And I think, yeah, so like the another analogy is like the robots, right? We have seen from these LLMs that robotics have actually increased a lot, like robotic applications. We have seen Nvidia in mostly in their conference giving a demo on robotics. Elon Musk is also working on some robotics. So the intelligence in them would be a cognitive LLM only, because that will make them to take actions. Okay, so what is in Siri? Siri will now move into maybe an robotics thing that can actually take actions. Okay, and yeah, I think I know there would be definitely downside. People will make very dangerous video, but the upsides are very high. I like, because in India we are the youngest population. But if you are a youngest population, very soon that means you will be one day the aged population also. Okay, and that means you definitely need assistance. And now you may not get humans. The robotic assistance will be a lot, because in Japan we are already seeing that problem, right? Like old age people are not getting that kind of thing. So we know the future, like what can happen, and this kind of assistants who actually have a lot of empathy understands you would, yeah, we are seeing, yeah, very soon we will see this kind of agents and those things that will come here. Yeah.
From a technical perspective, will these models be what to what degree will they be able to imitate emotions, or is there a possibility that we are able to reach a level where we are able to make them actually feel emotions? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so this will take time, okay, and this will evolve with you. So you need to get an agent with you that will actually stay with you, learn from you. Like you are then you are telling I am giving my data to you to learn about myself, okay, and that process is going to be a long time, okay. Day one it may be 10% like you, but there will be a day, I don't know the time frame, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, but I say 2 years is now at a big time period, things are happening very quickly. But still I would say at least a 1 year or one, and you will see things that have actually evolved, train with you, and we may actually see an emotional intelligence calculator. Like today it was 10%, after a few days it will be 20% like you, after 100 days it will be like 50% like you. And now as a human it's up to you if you want to stop it at that time, or you want to make it more like you also, okay. But this is, he needs to observe you, he need to take care, like understand your voices and everything, and there will be a day you will have your complete analogous thing, okay, same as them, that can take actions and things on behalf of you. But I think it will never reach the creativity of a human like that, but it will be able to mimic the creativity which we have already done previously, okay. So I am saying like today I'm a software programmer, I am a coder, okay. It may be able to do code like me in the future because of my code base and everything, he knows how I code, okay, it will observe me. But tomorrow if I suddenly change to cooking, I may go do better than him, but he may not be do better. The AI agent only, because he has not seen me doing cooking. Okay, because that's a new thing. So as a human, I can acquire this new skill quickly rather than an AI agent who can acquire that skill. Yeah, because skill acquisition and memorization are two different things. AI agents can memorize things, but they can't do the actions. Like how many pinch of salt if I have added 4 more teaspoons of maybe rice. So that's the very thing. I am a kind of cooking is my hobby, so you will see me having analogies with cooking a lot. Because I have been doing that a lot. Yeah, so that has been my uh way of explaining things. Yes.
I mean, it works perfectly well at being able to convey the meaning and relation of these complex subjects and domains. But
Yeah.
okay, uh, a sort of semi fun question, but when we have all these, when we have automated the work process of it to a large degree of our day to day workflow, will there be a shift in how people spend their day? Like, how do you see that balance? Like, surely there will be a growing disparity between people who'll be at a place where they're a major asset to the
Yeah,
organizations they are working for, and then there'll be people who will become obsolete, their skill sets will become obsolete. How
yeah.
will a typical day be for a human?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just correct one thing. AI will not automate things. It will be accelerate things. Okay, so there will be still a human involved. So it will accelerate. So I always say it will. AI is never going to automate a lot of things. It will always going to accelerate. So out of 10 things you need to do in a work, 9 things will be done by AI. The final step will be done by you as a human. Okay. Now coming to your question, how I think the day would look like. I really feel it's the need of the day. Like we all know, current work-life balance of many sectors of many areas is disgusting. Like there is no work-life balance. Okay, we definitely need this kind of thing where you can actually do the mundane things for you, and you can spend more time with your family or doing creative things for your company also, but not like the mundane things. Okay. Now, yeah, obviously there will be a lot there will be a lot of areas where jobs will go down, okay, because these data analyst things and everything will go down, but I think that is for good only, because this there was no creativity in those jobs. Okay, so on one hand those jobs will go down, but we'll see a rise of jobs that will have creativity involved in it. Okay, so the persons whose jobs are going out, if they are not open for new learning, if they are not open to learn things, not adapt to the new world, then it will be very difficult for them. Okay, I think adaptability is the key. You need to adapt to the new technologies, and it doesn't matter what. I know people say if you go above a age, you think, but age is just a number. When we say in terms of other things, age is just a number. You can learn things. Okay, you just need to focus. At least like you. And nowadays, you don't need to go and read a book. Maybe go and you don't need to Ian Goodfellow book to understand machine learning. Just ask ChatGPT. Hey, I am a 40-year-old, 45-year-old. I need to understand neural networks in a simple way. Can you make me understand? Yeah, it will make you understand. You can't have a better university than YouTube. You have everything. Okay, but it's the only thing you need to be curious. Okay, so what, like, I think in our day-to-day life we'll see the persons who know how to use AI will have more better work-life balance. They'll spend more of their life with family. Okay, and they'll dedicate have a quality work time where actually they work on creative things, then approving the things that have been already done by AI agents. Okay, and then done it, like stop it. But that the last point which I said, approving things done by AI agent, for that you need someone who has the domain knowledge, but a person who does not have any knowledge can't approve things, right? And that's where your value is. Okay, I use lot of ChatGPT to generate code. Okay, but compared to anyone who is not into coder, someone may be an electrician. Okay, he can also use that same thing to generate code. Okay, but when the code is not correct, he will not be able to fix it because he does not, but I am able to fix it. So I am accelerating my work, but I am ensuring that work is getting into productivity because I know how to actually understand the code. Okay, I am just dedicating the work to an AI agent and I just supervise it. But the supervision requires skills. Supervision is the thing which companies will pay you in the future. It's not your day-to-day engineering, not your development work company will pay. Yeah, like again, payment is as you said, like the top performers will be the kind of persons who have the domain knowledge, who can verify things quickly, who know who can supervise AI agents. They will be the top performers in the company. Yeah,
And I also feel that people, there is often this argument that many people make is that with the advent of generative AI, the creative aspect, you cannot, pursuing creativity or creative endeavors will be a waste of time. I lie on the spectrum where I think it will be actually contrarian to that. Why? Because just as how even now vintage stuff has
yeah.
got this very high value, in
Hmm.
a world where everything can be done to whatever degree but still can be done artificially, quote unquote, there will be a certain attached value which will be of higher regard for something that is handmade,
Absolutely.
entirely done by a human.
Yeah.
So for
Yes.
somebody, I think, who will be painting 50 years down the line, they'll be able to actually sell their painting for a lot more, because
Yeah,
that would
I
be a
would say
world.
like
Yeah.
10x, 50x, maybe 100x from now, like because everything will be AI generated. Their things will be unique pieces at that time. Yeah. So people say like who does not know C++ coding and those things, they are going to be obsolete. Okay. But I think after 5 years, 10 years, there would be at least there are a lot of software that still require C++. Okay. And these people who actually had the actual knowledge will be paid even 10 to 15 times higher. Okay. Because it's demand versus supply. At the end of the day, it's everything demand versus supply. Okay. When AI is making you comfortable to do maybe the 100, like out of 190% work is done by AI, there's still 10% needs to be done by a human. And that 10% is done only by creative skills, because your own skill set, because basic skill things are done by AI. Okay. PhD agents can come, whatever, everything can come. Okay. But again, there will be that top 5 to 6% people will be paid even more higher than what they are getting paid today, or they will make good go excel in their lives because they will be in most demand at that time. Yeah. And I will give you one analogy, okay, which I tell myself a lot. So suppose there are five data analysts, okay, in your company, whom you are paying 10 lakhs per year. Okay. So it's 5 into 10, uh, 50 lakhs. Okay. Yeah. Now that work is done, you have now a AI agent that its yearly subscription is 1 lakh. Okay. So you have actually saved 49 lakhs now as a thing. Okay. Now you need someone who can actually analyze the reports, whom you are getting now 20 lakhs, but you want the best person to come in. From that 49 lakhs you can give put the 20, may take another 25 from the 49 lakhs, so it becomes a total 45 lakhs package. You can actually get the best in the market, and you are still doing a revenue of 25, making a profit of 25 lakhs. Okay. But again, like companies will excel, it's just who does not embraces this, they will go down. Okay, there it's very hard we can handle that. Yeah. And we have seen these things happening in our past also. Whenever a new tech shift comes, big companies which were in that time, some adapt, some goes down, like everyone does not goes well. Yeah.
Also, I think, in general, the number of tasks people will necessarily have to be able to do a lot of general tasks, right? Because you have
Yes.
the means to do so now. But
Mm.
the overarching work that you're doing has to be very niche and very, very explicit and specific.
Yeah. Absolutely, like you need to be like, let's put in simple term. You need to be an expert in your field. Okay, if you are in an expert in your field, no one can beat you. Okay, and I think this is the best time. If you are an engineer, you should try to dive into other areas. Okay, because you should not see AI or computer as your area. You should see as a tool to create impact in other areas. So I am a person who actually loves climate a lot. Okay, I read about climate. I do understand climate, and maybe you have experience maybe in some other fields, maybe water, maybe in just go through that. And I think you only said at the top like you are a good person about quantum. I think, yeah, I think these are the best things, because then you would be one of the most sought engineers in the world who actually have a expertise in quantum computing, and also has a expertise in AI. Because I can tell you, if there will be not a single area in our world where AI will not play an impact. Okay, AI will be there in every field. We are IT, finance, we are just scratching the surface. It will go deep and deep and deep. There will not and now when you say, okay, you are a maybe an hit company specialist, okay, maybe you are, and you know AI, the company will take you. Like they will like, okay, you are the man I wanted for this many days. You are doing 2% job of me. Okay, we need experts like you only. Yeah.
Also, since you mentioned a little about climate,
Yeah.
how exactly can what are the ways in which artificial intelligence can bolster the processes of being able to tackle such major issues like climate change, among other things.
Yeah, so I think personally, what I feel one of the major areas that climate should, like I personally very much bullish about is like making people aware, okay, like how much you are affected with climate. Now, like we even don't know, like every day, how our health is getting affected. That air pollution, what we are staying, it's very affected, okay. Like anyone, if he wants to build something very quickly, just build a news feed based on your town or city that person is. It will give you like an a report, okay, how bad or good the weather is, and then it can take parameters from your own and think like, okay, you should not do this today, you should do this today, you should put this while you're going out. Like that improves the quality of your life. Okay, that's very important. Like as a help. Now in I would say in large scale simulation. Okay, like what will happen if I increase the carbon content in my fuel emissions as a company? If I am what would be my contribution to the whole world, okay, whole environment. That simulations would be very much effective if you now use large language models and AI, like generating different kind of scenarios, okay. And other thing I really, which I am very much passionate about, I started doing some POCs where it's like multi-agent things, executing things on a simulation software, okay, and conversing, okay, if I increase this parameter by 5%, how my climate change is going to affect. Then that person will be saying, no, I need to, you can't do that. That is actually affecting, increase the global warming of other country, okay. And some sort of like, and using the simulation platform as a parameter where they can simulate various scenarios. Okay. In childhood, we used to play business games, right? Or Monopoly and those kind of things. It's a climate Monopoly which anyone can now build and just do that thing. Yeah. So, and another like thing which I feel climate will have a lot is decarbonization. Okay. Like AI will have a lot. Like building intelligent systems that can actually handle control the amount of carbon release in your company will actually affect. Now we have just threshold parameters, okay, but it's very hard, like based on a climate conditions, which time I should release the carbon in my environment. It's very an important parameter. We don't have such sophisticated systems now. Okay, we can actually use build some kind of systems where AI can actually take decisions on behalf of you. Okay, now I can release things because the climate is dry. It will not cause that much pollution and it can go away. Okay, so yeah, like possibilities are endless in climate because climate is also a very new field like AI where you need to design from first principles and anything first principles. I am always passionate about that first principles stuffs. Yeah,
Right. It is really interesting. Let's carrying forward the same example of air pollution. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
just
sure.
monitoring and taking the data from the AQI index of that particular region for that particular temporal span, you
Yeah,
can actually businesses can utilize that to make sure how to regulate their carbon footprint to whatever
yeah,
extent it may be, and all it requires
absolutely.
is awareness and advocacy, as you said.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's the thing. Like, and for that now, like suppose just take like today we want to build a startup. Okay, very good. What do you need? Like you need a very simple app or something that is like that. You can ask Cursor or Claude to build that for you. Yeah, UI will be crappy. I'm not saying, but you can build that MVP or AOP in matter of let's take a week, okay, or let's take 2 weeks and get in the hands of people and can actually ask people, okay, is this something people are loving it or not? If it is loving, then you have got a very good product. If not, it's not. So AI is giving us the things to see the problems which we have around us and solve it. Okay, and build companies around it. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think a lot of things are there. We just need to be aware and we need to be curious. Curious. At the end of the day, curiosity is what it takes to find these solutions. Yeah. I would say I will correct it. Find these problems. Yeah.
Right.
Solutions comes next. Find the
Hmm.
problems.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a very explicit roadmap for people who are just starting out, the with the increasing pace of development in this area, it also becomes another matter of intimidation for people who are starting out as to just how much there is to learn. And
Yes.
there's also this intrinsic longing or craving to become as good as possible in as little amount of time as possible, and
Yeah.
that often leads people to fall into the common pitfall of straight up jumping to the advanced topics,
Yes.
right? I've
Yes.
just started programming and I'm like, I want to dive into machine learning and deep learning,
Yeah.
and people then find themselves against a dead end.
Yes.
So from somebody like you who has been through the thick and thins of this domain, what is a typical prolific and effective way for anybody who's starting out to tread this entire path?
Yeah, very good question. So I think when I started working, so like when I started learning, so there is a course everyone knows, CS231N from Stanford. Okay, as a college student, everyone recommended. I started doing the course. Okay, and I got very bored because I was not able to understand the things. Okay, and once your interest goes, you may not go back to that area. And honestly saying, still haven't finished that course. Okay, so yes, 231N. I finished the 224N, but not the 231 until late. Okay, because I was not able to understand after two, three lectures things because I was not aware of those things. Okay, then I kind of understood you need to be interested. You need to raise your interest before you learn, go into deeper. Okay. So the thing that is that I started building projects. Okay. Very simple projects like designing a basic Python filter, which will actually do a black gray image. Okay. Basic computer vision things. Then coding a neural network from scratch. Okay. Like how a visualization of a neural network. Nothing. Two nodes, three like weight matrix, just once I did that, then what I started learning unorganized information. So what? Okay, I'm coding this neural network. I'm not able to understand what is this. So I'm searching in Google. Okay, what this regularization means. Okay, so I'm now getting direct answers to my curiosity. I am not waiting to someone to feed that information. That my brain now needs that information. I'm getting that immediately. And when you learn those things by that, you learn a lot of things very quickly. Okay, once now you are like understand those things, then you should go deeper and try to understand the theories from it. Okay, the world is divided like here. People, some say you must learn theories and go to practical, but I am a person who believes like you should try to learn. Obviously coding is important, you do Python, you learn coding, then you once you have done the very basic, try to build projects. As soon as you build projects, go back again to theory, learn a more complex thing. Now you can come back, do a project on the complex things. Go again and build more complex things and come back and read more complex things. So it should be to and fro. It's not a monolithic. It's an agile thing. You need to first learn a basic thing, do a project, learn more things, come and do again, build projects. Okay, and this is what actually, and another advantage for is like this builds your resume, this builds your GitHub portfolio also. Okay, when you are building your projects, you are getting this portfolio because I see lead code programming is going to die. People are not going to use DSA as a skill anymore. Okay, I have been rejected by many companies because I did not do DSA. I was my GitHub portfolio is what I am. Okay, like that has been my key to get the jobs when I graduated. Okay, and this is the way I got into that, building such a good portfolio is like building projects, learning things, going back and again building things. And I think it's very simple. Like we don't need to make things complex. It's very simple. Go and do projects, learn and again go and do projects. That's it.
If there is one way to start a programming language and after 2 weeks straight away go to doing deep learning, it is just this. Take a project,
Yes.
you would not be able to complete it initially, but you'll have that starting point and you'll automatically see those steps forming.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And other thing I would definitely suggest, if you are in a company, already in a company, okay, and you are learning new things, try to implement those new things in your company for doing small movement tasks. Okay. It's again two things. It builds your portfolio. It actually increases your value in the next pay cycle. Expect a good hike because you're taking good initiatives from yourself. Okay. And it under yourself in the next interview, you can say, okay, I have taken the initiative of automating my company's payroll by building an LLM. As if I'm a recruiter, I don't need anything more to hear from you. You are in for me. Yeah.
Completely. Okay, so moving on to the final segment of the show,
Yeah.
there's this we do this final segment in each and every one of our episodes to sort of have this overarching conclusion to it. What would be your word to humanity at large?
Okay. Yeah. Mhm. I think, yeah, that's a very difficult question. I think the most difficult question of the whole. So, okay. So as a human, we should never lose our curiosity. I think that's a very important. I specifically used a word, we never lose our curiosity. Okay. I never said we should be curious because humans by inherit are curious. Okay. When we are born as a child, we are curious. Child are the most curious persons in the world. Okay. As they time evolves, we our society has trained us not to be curious. If you are an engineer, don't look into other things. If you are maybe an automotive expert, don't look into. No, if you are curious, think about healthcare. You don't need to be an expert, you can learn things. Okay. And once you are curious, you will get to do lot of things very quickly, so you always need to be curious. Yeah.
Mhm. Completely. I mean, we talked about how to be an expert in your domain, but
Yes.
after you have achieved that and you are constantly sustaining that level, make
Yes.
sure that you are this multi-dimensional person who is also making sure that they are developing in different and varied facets of life and living in general.
Yes.
I mean, you can be an AI engineer like yourself. You are an AI engineer, you work in AI, the research and
Yes.
everything, but you also love to cook. You also love to
Yeah.
study about climate, and there might be 100 more different things that you might be doing.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes.
So, Mr. Subham Kundu, thank you so very much for being on the show.
Yeah.
It was a lovely conversation,
Yeah,
personally,
it was
and
lovely for
thank
me,
you.
and I think that's a great initiative you are having, and looking forward to more such talks from different experts. Yeah, it was great talking to you.
Certainly, certainly. Okay, so